Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a wig chat. So this wig chat's a little bit different because I really want to talk to those of you who have your very first wig on its way. Maybe you've ordered one and you're waiting for it, or you're thinking about getting one, or maybe you have received one and you put it on and you were horrified and took it right back off. Put your hands up in the air and just like, this isn't gonna work. Because we're going to tackle some of those new sort of overwhelming things that can happen when you put on your very first wig for the very first time. So if you talk to very seasoned wig wearers, they all would tell you the same thing happened to them when they put on their very first wig. So let's talk about that a little bit, and I have talked about this quite a bit. This is also going to land in the playlist here on my YouTube channel under New to Wigs, because I just cannot stress these points enough. And I really loved the fact that when I received my first Toni Brattin wig, well, they all come with this little insert here. And I love this right here. And if you get a Toni Brattin wig as one of your first wigs, I really recommend that you read that, because if I had a wig company, these are exactly the points that I would want to stress to brand new wig wearers. Dead on, 100%. Do not take that wig off. You know, she stresses. Don't take it off. You got to play with it. You got to work with it, you know, and there are instances where maybe it's just not going to work for you, but most likely that is not the case. It's just the fact that you have not seen yourself in a full head of hair in so long, or you've never had a nice, beautiful full head of hair. Now, something that I do want to point out, because there are those instances where you could be 100% right. This is just too wiggy. It is just not going to work for you. And I would say 9.95% of the time out of 10, the reason for that is that you're probably a true petite size. If you are a true, real little petite size, any average size wig may absolutely completely overwhelm you, and it's just not going to work. But other than that, I would say a lot of what you're going to hear today and what we're going to cover will probably bump you right out of that, and you're going to be just fine. I am really excited to share another Toni Brattin wig with you guys. Now, I have not put this one on my head at all, but it's the type of style that I want to say is a great one to use for today, because they generally need some zhuzhing. They generally just don't look the greatest right out of the box. I have to say that most of the time, I do not like a wig right out of the box. When I put it on my head, I've got to do stuff with it. Now, this here one actually was one of those very rare exceptions for me. I stuck it on, just kind of broke up the part and just, you know, messed with it a little bit, and it just, I just liked it right off the bat. And you know, I've had that sort of luck with these Toni Brattin wigs, you know, but I feel like this one is going to be a great example because it's a little longer, it's got some natural wave to it. So let's get going on this. All right, so you got your very first wig, you're super excited, you know, and let's say it's this one. This is in the color light blonde, and it is called Enticing. Okay, so this is a sort of, you know, a little bit of a medium length wig, has some natural movement to it. Now, one thing that I have noticed so far with the styles that I've chosen from this particular line, the density is really great. I haven't run into, you know, just like, oh, this is so much, there's so much hair in this wig. I have not run into that. I've been really pleasantly surprised to the density of the ones that I have ordered so far. So let's take a look at this one. All right, so before we get on to it, we're gonna go ahead and do those traditional things that we do in our little wig chats here, and I'm gonna show you the cap. So this cap is exactly the same as Trendsetter. So that is another Toni Brattin wig, Trendsetter. It was my very first wig that I ordered from her line, and this is the same exact cap. This is a basic cap. There's no frills in this at all, hence why it is so affordable. We do not have a mono part or any monofilament here on top. It's completely closed. We do have permatease all throughout here. We have a really nice and soft little front area here. This is so nice that they did this. So if this is touching, if you don't have hardly any hair or you're completely bald, you don't have anything, this is gonna feel really nice up against your skin. Here on the sides, however, there's nothing really here. No soft velvet of any sort on the ear tabs. And these metal stays, there are metal stays in here. They're a little weak. They're not the best metal stays. I do like strong, firm metal stays, but you know, hopefully they'll do their job. No extended nape. Now I do love an extended nape that's got that nice, you know, sort of velvet lining. This is not, but it does have nice soft velvet. It's got the pull tab Velcro tabs. You can adjust these wigs up to a 1/2 inch on each side, both ways. So if it just needs to be a little smaller, say you're more of an average petite, you can adjust this and hopefully it will fit your head really nicely and where it should be. Same, if it's a little too small, you can adjust these, pull them out. However, there is really nice stretch in these wigs. This is the average size though. All right, so there is the cap. Now this is in light blonde. Light blonde is her most popular color, so it can sell out pretty quickly. This is the light blonde. I absolutely adore this color. It is really dreamy. It's definitely a beigey blonde, and it's beautiful. I love that there's a rooting in this, and it's done really well. In just looking at editing, I want to say that the rooting shows up quite a bit darker in filming than it does in real life. So far, all of these wigs I've noticed are heat-friendly fibers, so you can take some heat to them, but be very conservative. There is a way that you style heat-friendly wigs, so you can look that up, say on Wigs by Patty's Pearls. She'll show you exactly how to do it safely, you know, and put some curls or waves into your heat-friendly fibers. It's just a little different than just, you know, your regular human hair. But you definitely can. I have felt no desire to change that, you know, kind of built-in style in any of these wigs. I think they're adorable, so I have yet to attempt to do that. I love the way that this is done here. It is quite just very loose and broken. So here on my hand, you know, I'm liking it. However, we'll see what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take off my tag. So I'm going to do that now. All right. You got your first wig here. Super excited about it. Notice that the part is crisscross. All right, so if you're thinking about returning a wig, you're not sure, don't mess with it. You got to leave that crisscross part in. And unfortunately, it does make it a little difficult, because here's what I'm going to recommend you do. And you really can't do this if you're not sure if you're going to keep a wig. Okay, so, but here's what I recommend you do. I recommend that you just kind of take it by the nape and you just shake it. Just, you know, just kind of lightly and gently, just kind of shake it around here. Okay, so when you put it on, it might look a little bit wild, but at least you've gotten these fibers going the opposite direction and off the cap. So I recommend doing that right straight away. Okay, it still has the crisscross part, but look at what we've done already. We've aired it out. It's kind of aerated, and the fibers aren't just stuck to the cap. Okay, so You know, there's a thing called box hair, and you may get box hair with any given wig. It's just what happens that we don't know how long, you know, these wigs have been sitting in the box. They could be in there for a long time. And they're, you know, they do everything they can to protect the wig and the fibers, you know, inside out usually with a netting, but still they may have been kind of in there for a long time. And those fibers just may have conformed that way. It's nothing to panic about. It's definitely a lot of time all of that can go away with just by basically sitting it out on a wig stand and just let it sit there for a bit and let gravity sort of do its thing, and it'll loosen up over, you know, the next day or two. A little bit of product can help as well if you just, you know, don't have that much patience. Sometimes product will also help. Okay, so let's get this on. All right, so I actually do not have a wig grip on right now. We want to make sure that you can kind of see your hairline when you kind of fold it back. You want to be able to see the very beginning of your hairline. You want to line up your ear tabs, make sure everything is straight. And then I like to take out my hair, which is already kind of out, right here along the hairline. And even, you know, with this particular style, and I kind of trimmed myself a tiny little bit of a long bang, just so if I do this with a wig, it won't be longer than the wig itself. And so that way, if my hair kind of goes up and away, you'll kind of see my own hair. Okay, so I'm square, got the crisscross part. We did shake it out a little bit. So this is your first wig and you're looking at it and you're going, oh, God, you know, I don't like this. It's not, it's just flat and the curls, it's just, I don't like it, you know, and it is frustrating, and you've done everything you thought you're supposed to. So don't panic, you know. You might be looking at this and just thinking it just looks sort of ridiculous, and what's this going on here, and everything's going the wrong direction. You've got it where it needs to be, but it's just sort of a mess. Well, you don't panic at this point, but the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get rid of this situation. So, because I don't have a wig grip on, and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to just kind of take my fingers and get rid of that part, and I'm also going to just sort of take it and just kind of lift the fibers gently off the cap, just a little bit everywhere. Just kind of get it going and just kind of keep working at it until you no longer see that crisscross. So there, it's gone. Just doing that alone helps quite a bit. Now is where I would probably start, honestly, whipping out some hairspray. I love using the Style and Hold hairspray. I am going to experiment with the Tresemme, just a regular hairspray that Tresemme makes, because I noticed that Toni Brattin herself uses that when she styles her wigs a little bit on QVC. So I'm like, okay, I've never been brave enough to do that, but if she uses them on her own wigs, then I feel like I should try that. So I'm going to just kind of hold this from far away. This is made for synthetic fibers, so for now, I feel good about doing that. Now I do have fill-in powder, and I have not used it. It would match a little more of this rooting color, definitely, rather than my sort of gray mousy brown. So I probably would want to use my fill-in powder, definitely. Now I'm just going to take a very wide toothpick here, and I'm going to kind of just, again, go through these fibers. I'm just going to kind of see what's happening here. It's quite a bit more curlier kind of than I was expecting myself, but I don't want to feel like I have to really overstyle this. I'm hoping that it won't be one of those wigs. But sometimes these kind of wigs do take a little bit more zhuzhing than some others. Even though it can look effortless when you're done, sometimes they need a little directional support. And then another thing too is this is going to relax a little bit the more it's on our head throughout the day. And when you set it out on your little wig rack, your wig stand thingy, just set it out and just, you know, it's going to loosen up. So right out of the box, it might be a little bit harder to tame and to calm down. You may need a little bit more product on it, a little bit more hairspray, but give it some time. That is a lesson that I actually had to learn as well, is that, geez, Jill, it's just right out of the box. It's going to maybe take a little bit before it's going to calm down for you. So this stuff probably is going to eventually kind of calm down and be just, I don't know, a little less thing going on there, a little less everything. But I do kind of like the curl right here. So I'm just going to kind of, this is not a real traditionally stiff hairspray. So it's not going to just sort of stiffen it all up. But let's do a once around here. Actually, have not done that yet. So let's do that. So yeah, you know, I think that really sometimes we forget that we need to play with our wigs a little bit and get used to it on our heads. Now, sometimes, you know, it is a matter of playing with the part a little bit. So that has saved me many a time with styles like this, is flipping the part over to a different side. That sometimes will help the curl formation behave for me a little bit. Sometimes with wigs like this, it's a matter of just kind of playing with where the fibers want to behave. Sometimes they don't come in the place that will make it easier for you. And so especially, you know, it's kind of nice. While we do not have a monopart or a monofilament top of any kind up here, we do still have the ability to kind of part it anywhere we want. And I already like it better actually on this side. So, you know, definitely play with that, especially with wigs like this, where you have sort of these waves that you're trying to deal with here. That can make all the difference. And look at how much better it wants to behave over here. This is less heavy. We got less hair over here, so it's becoming to be a little bit more manageable. So, you know, it is true. Don't take it off. Don't take it off. You keep that wig on and you keep playing with it. Make sure you have your makeup on, because I have done that many times and I'm like, oh. And then I'll try it again when I have my face on, when I have my makeup on. I feel like, okay, I feel like I look a little better now. I'll try that wig again. And lo and behold, it suddenly looks so much better. You know, how many of us have done that? So look at this. This is so much better. So much better. So much better. This is, you know, even I like it better like this. It just looks a little bit, I don't know, less crazy. So that is really the lesson of the day. Keep that wig on, you know, make sure you've got your makeup on, and you've got a wig grip on or something so it's going to stay on your head while you're trying to mess with it. And do what you can to keep your hair up flat like a pancake. We don't want big bubbles and bulges, you know, back here, because maybe you have kind of longer hair. So all of those things are important, but the main thing is keep it on, mess with it, change it around, get some sort of hairspray. You're going to need something, and just keep trying. Just keep trying. You know, and like I said, there is a percentage of women that, you know, they are true petites, and any wig will probably overwhelm them, and it's just going to be a battle they're not going to win until they start getting actually petite wigs. And you're not going to know that unless you measure your head. Anyway, okay, I hope you found this helpful, and I really, this is a beautiful wig. The color is absolutely gorgeous. I love the lowlights, the highlights in this blonde. I just think it's beautiful. It's not too cool and it's not too warm. It is really pretty. Yeah, I just had to try this one, you know, and I'm glad I did. I do. I think it's quite pretty, and I think I will like it better if it calms down a little bit. But putting it over to this side definitely helped me a lot. All right, guys, so this is Toni Brattin here, and this is called Enticing in light blonde. I'm going to put the link down below where you can check it out, and you can find also her videos that may be quite helpful on QVC, of course. That's where she's very popular. And I ordered this wig from Wigs by Patty's Pearls, and that is just something I want to put out there because there's a lot of scams going on with online wig ordering, and there are a few very trusted websites out there that are online wig stores, and Wigs by Patty's Pearls is definitely one of those very trusted sources. Not only does she have an amazing YouTube channel that is full of resources for new wig wearers, that's where I went a lot, and I still do. She also has a really nice website and fantastic customer service. So I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about Wigs by Patty's Pearls and my relationship with them in probably an upcoming gab sesh. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go for now. This was a lot of fun, and I hope that you found some tips that you find, okay, you know, this will be helpful to me. That's always what I'm hoping for. Okay, we'll see you soon, guys. And remember to always stay young at heart. Bye-bye. If you talk to seasoned